ABC 6 News 11 at 11 starts right now.
Now at 11, more bridge problems. What Cranston's mayor thinks caused concrete to loosen under a small bridge in the city that is now prompting immediate repair work.
Plus, construction workers in California could barely believe their eyes when they saw a man eating a human leg after a train crash. The charges he's facing.
And the surprising reason there's been a run on porta potties ahead of a rare celestial event. We'll get to those stories shortly, but first tonight at 11, developing news we're tracking out of New York City. An NYPD officer was shot and killed during a traffic stop in Queens this evening. Police say two officers approached a vehicle and a suspect inside immediately pointed a gun at them, leading to an exchange of gunfire. Officer Jonathan Dillard was killed. Police originally stopped the vehicle because it was parked illegally at a bus stop. Officer Dillard had been on the job for 3 years.
Our hero police officer confronted this dangerous individual, knowing that he was putting himself at risk, knowing that he had a family waiting for him at home. But he did it to protect the people of this city.
Police say one of the two people in the suspect's vehicle had a previous gun arrest last April. Now to our top local story tonight at 11. Multiple fires in southeastern Massachusetts today, stretching fire crews thin. Nearly a dozen people were displaced after two fires, and one man is now in critical condition. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm John DeLuca.
And I'm Tiffany Murphy. ABC 6 News reporter Josh Kerman has more on how the weather impacted those firefighting efforts today.
This is the second fire that most of these firefighters on scene have been to today. We go to North Attleboro, they come to us, and most of these mutual aid partners are in both fires today, so it's been a very busy day.
Nearly a dozen trucks in Plainville responded to a duplex with heavy fire and smoke on one side. That portion of the home is uninhabitable, and the other part may have too much smoke and water damage to go back to. Ball telling us one person had possible smoke inhalation and a panic attack during the fire.
Our first arriving companies made an initial push into the house, got pushed back out. Once we established the fire line to the outside, we were able to push in and make a stop before it got to the second part of the unit.
Ball says he believes around 11 people were displaced, with a mix of adults and children. All of this after a fire in North Attleboro on Diamond Street that sent one man to the hospital with critical burns and lacerations.
We were yelling and screaming for him if anybody was in the house, and he finally came out. He didn't have any clothes on, but he tried to get back in through one of the windows, and when he cracked the window, he ended up cutting his wrist pretty deep through here, so he's at the hospital.
Crews there dealing with wind coming off the nearby Falls Pond, making the fire more difficult to respond to, something Plainville's chief was happy had passed.
We're just thankful the wind had died down. It was a little later in the evening, and we're not on the lake.
The causes of both of these fires are under investigation. We'll bring any updates as soon as they come on air and online on abc6.com. Josh Kerman, ABC 6 News.
This is footage from the scene in Plainville that was posted to our Now Local News app. You can keep up with all of our stories, even when we're not on the air, by downloading our Now Local News app.
Let's turn to the weather now before we get to Jeff. Take a look at what our viewers are seeing this afternoon after the weekend's heavy rainfall. This is from Rhonda. She shared this video to our Now Local News app. This is out of Cranston. At a creek, she says, is usually very gentle and quiet, but now she says it is like a raging river, and you can see that right there. Thanks so much, Rhonda, for taking the time to send this into our Now Local News app. Let's get a check on our forecast right now. Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Jeff Banson joins us live in the Weather Center. More rain expected this week, Jeff?
Yes, right, Tiffany. Later this week, we could maybe tack on another 2 inches to what has already been a nearly record-setting month of March in terms of rainfall. We'll get to that in just a second. But yeah, we're talking about the house fires and how it was certainly probably a struggle today with those winds out there, gusts across the area, generally around 30 to 40 miles per hour. I saw some gusts out towards our east, even a little bit higher than that. But it was windy, and it was, I think, safe to say cold, because we had wind chills. Even though, temperatures around 45 today, as you can see here, it felt like the 30s through much of the day, especially when that wind was whipping out there. Looks like the moon has gotten just a little bit high enough in the sky. It's behind the banner right now. It is a nice moon out there, but it's very, very hazy because it's behind that thin layer of cloud cover that was also veiling the sunshine this afternoon. So we'll call it mostly cloudy skies. It could, seem clear out there, but we're starting to see those clouds thickening up, especially to our east. And it's still breezy out there. You've got a northeast wind at 20 miles an hour. So it feels like 25 degrees as opposed to the actual air temperature there at 36. Temperatures pretty much flatlining right now. They'll slowly begin to rise into tomorrow morning. A lot of cloud cover expected tomorrow. A couple of light showers across the area. Most of the day is dry, but here's a look at, again, those active river flood warnings. So the Taunton River in Massachusetts, the Pawtuxet Woods and Pawcatuck rivers here in the Ocean State. Those are on the way down, but again, with that rain coming up later this week, we could see those maybe going back up a little bit. And again, as of that Saturday rain event, we're now number 2 wettest Marches of all time for Providence TF Green. Pretty crazy that we have a week to go in the month, guys. And again, more rain possible later this week. We'll detail it coming up in the full forecast.
All right, a lot to look forward to. We'll see in just a bit. Thank you, Jeff. New tonight on ABC 6 News 11 at 11. Cranston is now starting repair work on the Kimberly Lane Bridge after an inspection turned up some serious issues. The mayor's office says inspectors found significant aging under that bridge due in part, they believe, to recent flooding. The repair work will start in the next few days. The plan is to work on one side of the bridge so it won't have to be closed altogether. The bridge is the main entrance for homeowners in the Hillside Farm subdivision right off of Phoenix Avenue.
Police in Norton are asking for your help identifying this accused porch pirate. Video posted on social media shows this man approaching the front porch of a home in a white sweatshirt. You see him there. He has sweatpants on and a black beanie. He then runs away with the package. If you think you know who this is, Norton police want to hear from you tonight. Police in Norton, by the way, also need your help identifying this man on your screen. Police say he's been reported for suspicious activity like this before. He approaches people's homes with his phone out. He knocks on the door and then he leaves. If you recognize this man on your screen right now or his black Toyota Prius he's driving, you're asked to contact Norton PD.
Now to some other local stories we're following for you on this Monday night. A corrections officer from the Wyatt Detention Center resigned today after accidentally firing a gun inside of Merriam Hospital overnight. According to a spokesperson for the hospital, no one was injured and minor damage was done to the wall when that gun went off. Spokesperson for the detention center did confirm to ABC 6 News the officer has resigned. No other information has been released at this point.
Smithfield police arresting a New York man for stealing more than $1 million worth of jewels. You may remember back in November, someone reported gemstones and jewelry stolen from their vehicle parked outside of Dave's Marketplace at the crossings in Smithfield. 25-year-old Sergio Castaneda Ronderos is being charged in this case. His bail was set at $50,000, but after posting bail yesterday, he was held because of an active immigration detainer. The FBI helped Smithfield police with this investigation.
Happening across New England. A cement truck driver was taken to the hospital after police in New Hampshire say he suffered a medical episode and then crashed into more than a dozen parked vehicles. This happened in Concord around 3 this afternoon. According to police in that area, the truck crashed through a fence before crushing a sedan and then going on to hit those 15 other vehicles. Thankfully, no one else was hurt.
National news tonight at 11 o'clock. A deadly train crash in California turned into an even more gruesome scene when a man was arrested for eating part of a human leg. Witnesses say that leg came from a person hit by a train near the Amtrak station there. Police identified that man, he was arrested, 27-year-old Rosendo Tellez. They say he was wanted on multiple warrants he already had.
I'm not sure from where, but he came this way. And he walked all through here, and he was waving a person's leg, and well, he started chewing on it over there. He was biting it, and then he was hitting it against the wall and everything.
One person died in that crash.
An Ohio State trooper narrowly avoided having their cruiser smashed by a huge wheel coming off of a tractor trailer. Dashcam video from the cruiser shows the wheel pop right off, and then there it is. Okay. Thankfully, the trooper was alert enough to move out of the way. Wow, that was a scary situation there.
Firefighters in Sarasota, Florida. Can you make out what this is? It's a cat. They worked to rescue this cat who somehow got itself stuck in the grill of this car this afternoon.
How did that happen?
Yeah, they're calling it a catastrophe.
It was a catastrophe.
Get it? It was definitely averted. The cat was removed from the grill and is not hurt. But here's the catch, John DeLuca. The car the cat was in, not his owner's car.
Of course not.
Sarasota Animal Control now working to find this cat's owners. He's used up one of his 9 lives now.
9 lives. He's got 8 left. Police in Ocala, Florida getting a taste of the cowboy lifestyle after a large horse broke loose and then, just started wandering the city streets. According to police in Ocala, an officer was greeted by the horse right near an outlet store. looking to do a little shopping, obviously. The officer called for backup and ended up corralling the stallion in the parking lot of the College of Central Florida. The horse has since been returned to its owner.
Consumer News tonight at 11 o'clock. The price of bananas at Trader Joe's going up, according to the grocer. After more than 20 years of their bananas priced at just 19 cents each, they will soon cost 23 cents each. That's more than a 20% increase. A spokesperson for Trader Joe's says a rise in food costs is the company's reason for the price hike.
Well, a company in Arkansas is claiming since early 2020, customers have called to reserve porta potties for next week's total solar eclipse. Person for the portable toilet company says it's received more than 600 orders for the week of the eclipse. They're going fast. Still to come tonight on ABC 6 News at 11. Jeff is back with a look at the forecast. That 7-day forecast. There's a little bit of everything in there for you. Stick around for that. Plus, we want to hear from you on our Now Local News app. Just scan the QR code on your screen and send in your video content. If you do, you can get points that can be redeemed for prizes such as gift cards.
And our question of the day, what's a fashion footwear trend that makes you cringe? Crocs, socks with sandals, chunky sneakers, or bare feet? You can vote now by scanning the QR code that's about to pop up in your screen or head to abc6.com/spotlight. You're watching ABC 6, Southern New England's trusted news source.